Welcome back. I just wanted to introduce from the University of Aveiro, Portugal. Yeah, I knew I was going to mispronounce it. I am very sorry, Portugal. So, presentation is VuFind as a participatory scientific information discovery, access, evaluation, and sharing service. Filipe, Bento.
Right. Thank you, David. Well, first of all, good morning. Before starting, I like to know a little bit of my audience, because I also trust that it never rains in Philadelphia and it's raining outside, so the series, misleads you. So, how many from you are from academic or are connected with academic libraries, institutions? Okay, so I think we share most of the same problems and issues. How many of you have, let's say, social networks, even from Cyverse or whatever, Elsevier, academia.edu accounts, or any social network, even Facebook? Okay, a little, but you still. How many of you have followed links shared by someone else? Someone else shares a link to a document. How many of you use to follow, and now you can have close friends, let's say, and have warnings of what they are doing? How many of you usually follow someone or follow documents shared by others? Okay, good. How many of you share to others, even if you're not interested in that part, and you say, oh, this can be, okay, now I have an audience and I have my target defined, so I think I'm going to be use a little bit of what Damien said, because I'm going in a completely different direction. But first of all, special thanks to Damien, David, and Villanova University's Fallway Memory Library, the person of its director, Joe Lucia, yeah, for having me here today, and the consideration given to this presentation proposal, and above all, for the interesting investing and making available such a great tool, such a great solution as VuFind proved to be. So I'm going to start my presentation. Already 3 minutes. I think I have time. In some way, we can talk about discovery powered by two mainstreams, let's say. Powered by machine artificial intelligence that VuFind performs so well with its logic and the power from solar energy. With automatic recommendations based on contents, classification or resources users that Damien mentioned, and also we've been talking about in the mailing list. That can be achieved by having a unified index resulting from information integration, federated search with Passepartout or whatever solution, metadata repositories harvesting, and also mashups algorithms to enrich searches and records with information from other sources that you see, local, external, gather in real time, that already VuFind does with the author module from Wikipedia and the like. And we can also talk about discovery, and now the other direction, powered by patterns, collective intelligence. And I'm going to explain what I mean by this. But first of all, a quick word about the impetus that's behind implementing such a discovery and sharing service. Beside the strong bet in Web 2.0 tools and service being done in the last years by our university library to be where our users are, we aim at generating a dynamic of participation and shared production of contents. Also at an European level, the Bologna process. We have some people from Germany, but you're aware of the Bologna process, right? That the students define, I have to talk to the mic, and say hi to the people following us at home. I should talk to the, also to this direction. But I was I was talking about the Bologna process, where the student has the institution gives to the student the onus of following, of doing its own learning path. You know, personal learning environments, PLEs, and things like this. So the Bologna process reinforces the role of the library as a complementary space in the line of João Lucia said, for informal learning, socially facilitated by its users, enabling information discovery and sharing. Having that said, implementing such a service, so it's a huge role that it gives to the library. You know, it puts the library as a learning center. Like I was saying, having that said, implementing such a service involves mainly three core concepts. I'm not going through the first two ones because this is already very well discussed. Integration, aggregation, and federated search, or is not a possibility anymore. Aggregation, we have to have aggregation at least. Library 2.0, if it's active, receptive to user contribution, to user-generated contribution, what they call UGC. I know this changed, but many libraries don't still, you know, they have the books, and you cannot write on them, and you cannot write reviews anywhere because you cannot write on the books. Okay, notes for other users, and users 2.0 that are participative users. And regarding this last core concept, such a discovery and social aggregator system should cope with what they call so-called net generation, the students, and the so-called digital immigrants. Many of them trying to find their true colors in this new world. So that's why this. But even here, perhaps there's nothing new, because the major part of them, of the faculty members, has to deal with Web 2.0 in the remaining activities, like if you have Moodle, if you have other systems, you have to. And some are creating communities. Not anymore, because Ning now is paid, but in ELG, for instance, ELG. How many of you know ELG, the platform? No? Oh, Damien. ELG is basically Facebook. You can create communities, share documents, upload documents, recommend, bookmark some resources to the community. You can have open, closed communities, and best of all, you can expose everything there in web services. So it can be consumed inside the VuFind without even the users knowing that they are coming from another platform, and also open source. You should explore help, because many institutions are now adopting. The good news is that once harnessing the user contribution, we just have to sit back and enjoy the ride. Almost, you need always some control, but you can have technical things like to say report this command, and if you receive any reports from search and comment from the users as inappropriate, you go in there and delete it. You know, ELG as that, and you see, I've seen this for sure in other solutions. Another aspect that is still somehow not a fully explored ground involves making the thriving connection between Library 2.0 and Users 2.0. And what I mean by this, for this I quote Jack Manus, that in 2007 said something like, Library 2.0 is not about searching, but finding, discovery, okay? Not about access, but sharing. Library 2.0 recognizes that human beings do not seek and utilize information as individuals, but as communities. That was I was asking about how many of you are connected or somehow related to academic libraries. Because from one year to the other, the curricular unit, the contents or the bibliographic recommendations, the course reading is the same. So if the users from 1 year share information, review, add value to the let's say the resources recommended for that curricular unit, in the next year the next community of students will have this added value to the resources, you know, and it's I think a very important thing for information discovery, to have this contribution from the one users from one end, but I'll approach this better ahead. And this brings up to something that we find already in part leverage, that's collective intelligence. You know, Pierre Levy, Canadian, I don't know the university, but I think it's Toronto, that wrote, "No one knows everything, everyone knows something." That is, we are talking about a shared or group intelligence. And quoting again Pierre Levy, it's a form of universally distributed intelligence, constantly nuanced, coordinated in real time, and resulting in the effective mobilization of skills. The references for this are in the presentation, all of the bibliographic references, as it should be, okay? I said collective intelligence is something that you find already leveraged, well, in part because of this buzzword, taxonomies. I think it's the correct way to say in English. It's the taxonomies made by the people, you know, by the users. Comparing to index control vocabulary, you can say that taxonomies better cover knowledge domains that are more dynamic, because the ones are very static, you know, the authorities, and with the tagging we can have a very granular, they can put very granular terms that are not in the thesaurus, the official authorities database. But there is, but it's not because of that particular aspect that I bring this to the presentation, but because of a special remark I'm going to try to highlight here in the presentation. Hope this works. You see people here attributing tags, you know, for themselves or shared for the others. Someone is asking and also placing. This one is just asking, give me square and blue. But the special remark is this one. This user is saying, what are the interests? I think I have. I'm not highlighting, am I? No. Okay. This user here. No. Okay. I'll go there. The microphone. If you see this user here is asking, hey, please system discovery service, tell me what user X is interested, because I share a lot of interests with him. Okay, so this is something that right now we are not taking full advantage of it. And why this special remark? The answer lies in what we intend to implement. That is a model for an innovative bibliographic search system where not only the document is a point of reference, but to a new extent the user himself and all these his surroundings, activities and information associated with his or her profile, or community. Again, the focus on community to which she belongs, assuming a crucial dimension of generating additional information by the users of the system, enhanced by computer agent aggregations of information that already VuFind does, fostering social networks and communities. Namely, that contributes to this cycle. It's It's really a cycle because at the end it goes back to the beginning. Search, find, evaluate, that's select from the results, understand, read the document, say this is available, a document for this area, and share it with the others. So the others, when search, they will find, and it goes again the cycle. And also oriented for, let me just, I lost control of my mouse, I don't know where it is, but it's somewhere around here, yeah. Oriented to ad hoc communities, construction and identification. Results should also show patterns, users, or communities that are more active in that area, but again, ideally, okay? This is something that is not so easy to perform. First of all, we did an initial survey, like the questions I was asking here. We have done an initial survey in the university. I know it's already 2 and something years old, but perhaps some of the results now would be even higher. Aimed at, we wanted to have an idea about our university uses information search and retrieval habits, which resources and sources do they value, and their presence and information sharing habits in social networks. We were very pleased by these numbers, with importance given by the community to this project that led us to have something like more than 4,000 full responses from about 14,500 possible ones. But I'm talking students, I'm talking faculty members, talking technical members, all the... from the 26 questions, so we're talking about a third of our population, and the comments were very good. From the 26 questions mentioned in the slide, an highlight to the relevance given to information in blogs or other social networks, or shared by other users on social networks. As expected, the perceived relevance of information on blogs or these social networks decreases as the academic degree increases. So the first cycle students are and the technical, this DSC, there are these technical courses that 1 year only, they give much importance to this because they go to Google and and search for the status of instead of doing the states of arts, the states of the art, the literature review, they go to Google, and the like. Nevertheless, and from their thoughts about what they shared in the attached documents that the question had, the comments field, researchers that choose essential, the researchers, the not last one, the one before, are the ones that defend it in a more strong manner, mainly because of the established the research networks. Because they have their known peers, when you are working in an area, you know the ones that are also publishing in that area. Regarding a possible discovery service itself, the features in the result list and the features in the result list, facet browsing followed by the automatic recommendation of documents or related resources are the 2 features considered more relevant, although except the interface for mobile phones. But again, please keep in mind that this questionnaire was performed in the beginning of 2010. Perhaps now things will be a little bit different. Like I was saying, all of them were rated in a very positive manner. So our users really want a discovery system that implements these features. The relevance of information content segregation, like the one that VuFind retrieves now from Wikipedia, got the or if you subscribe to Synthetics or Library got the items values, summary and table of contents leading, and rating and comments from users lower values, yet still considered relevant overall, as you can see in the slide. In the relevance given to communities features that more interested, a special remark, not more interested, also interested, a special remark for the fact that almost 70% of the users considered an important feature being able to consult works or resources recommended by the group or other users. 70%, you know. And reasonable 14% went a little bit further and considered a very important feature in a possible future system, discovery system. Finally, regarding the activities around communities and features in which the users said they would take part, contribute, I mean, more active manner. The most elected ones were the more passive, of course, or automatic, low effort ones, but still in the positive side regarding activeness, so validating most of the features advanced in the first draft that we have done for the module. These are the main findings from of the first stage of our broader research that's still ongoing. From this, a conceptual module for information discovery and sharing was designed, and later on, VuFind was adopted as the base system after several open source solutions comparisons, and the beta version was implemented meanwhile. Always beta, always in staging, hope to have my housing server when I return. So you almost 20 minutes or 20 minutes or so, and I'm going now in the main part of the presentation. You say recommendations, evolution and sharing within VuFind. Recommendations, discovery component. We have, with a great thanks, I don't know if it's here, great one to Ronan McHugh from the National Library of Ireland for the authority recommendation module shared in VuFind Jira. In the result, see also subject headings, terms of related subject searches, etc. Authorities, desires. You can load many of them at the same time. We have our own, our Aerovoc mesh from PubMed. All of this can be used to or even the one that I found in Damian's 2010 video, I think, using OCLC, like Damian mentioned, terminology services and WordCat identities APIs to provide suggested terms. You go to Wiki and in presentations, it's the first video we have there. Like this, also from authors. This is right what you're mentioning. Also implemented related search by linking the same search to external services, not possible to aggregate. EBSCO doesn't sell their records to anyone, not Ex Libris, not to Summon. Andrew? Okay. So it's always it's their business, right? The super records that they have. So we have to have these direct links that open in a Lightbox, jQuery Lightbox window, the results, and the recommendations of related search resources. That could be, we could use the course reading or course reserves list to do recommendations. For instance, if one of the resources is one inside one of these course readings, we can show in the full record view, say, this resource belongs to course reading list as you have now in your personal favorites. It's in your, you could say, and then you go jump to that course reading and say, oh, lots of interesting things about this matter here. And also, this is the public list patch that shared with the help of Damian to do the patch, to browse the public list, even personal favorites. Even personal favorites, if without breaching or disclosing their owners, we could use, if there, for instance, if a user search for a resource, for a certain search, this resource comes up and it's in a favorite list of somebody within a certain subject, we can use the list anonymously to suggest other resources. We can trust the users that they are not mixing many things. Besides the semantic, let's say, base similar items that VuFind does, ideally, it should, in our opinion, it should include recommendations. So now the suggestion that you were asking, I was not going to say because it will be redundant, based on tax frequency, because now a resource you can attribute the same resource to the same resource, the same tag, and it decreases the number. If, for instance, many users say that this tag is about nanotubes, so it should be probably very important to